Okay, the latest version of the Zebra Automatic Fish Feeder Plus Plus is coming into form. It looks pretty without any covers right now. Pretty amazing. I feel like I've been building C3PO. Hooray, Anakin. So we'll start from this side. We have our rack and our pinion that moves this back and forth. When this is filled with powdered fish food, it will dispense through here into the mixing funnel and then into this sort of water capacitor, if you will, to sort of slosh around, and then it will get pumped out and then sent over to one of these valves, and then one of these valves will send it to the tank that's indicated. So when we open this valve, it will go to tank 1. Obviously, this is still in my workbench. We're not close to the Zebrafish lab yet. The source valves have the source tubes have been measured and cut, but they have not. The goes out tubes have not been measured and cut. Also, I have not powered up the pumps, the source pump and the sink pump, because we are not to the water level right now. Just logic and electricity. So again, normally what we would do is we would fill this really awesome dispenser, which is a soda bottle, obviously, filled with our powdered fish food into this 3D printed cap, which has a hole in the bottom of it. And then when we dispense, this pinion moves over and sort of like dispenses it like a gumball. And then the food will drop into the funnel and then into the mixing stage and then get pumped through and then sent to the tank. So these guys are all taken care of. Again, there's some other electronics up here. These are the power supplies, controllable power supplies for both the left pump and the right pump. A, B, whatever you want to call it, source and sink. They have yet to be powered. Here's all 30 of our pumps. We have 30 pumps, and then this is where things get kind of ugly. Things inside here. This is a relay that we added to make sure that our external 12-volt power supply does not cause all of these relays to open if they were to happen to lose 5-volt power from the Arduino. The Arduino buried down there, the Arduino Mega, is connected by USB to this little Nuke computer, and it is running Debian 13. Found out the hard way. I had left the power supply connected, shut down the computer for the day, and then was planning on using the major power supply to turn everything off. And as soon as this went to sleep and turned off the 5 volts, all of the 32 relays clicked, scared the living whatever out of me. And then I realized that we needed to protect that with this other relay. So this is the source relay. It is connected directly to the 5-volt power output of the Arduino. So if the Arduino Mega were to lose connectivity or lose power to the computer, then this shuts down and keeps all of the normally closed relays normally closed rather than shunting them back up. A lot of this stuff will go away. Well, first of all, I took the lid off of my little waterproof container here. All this will be connected. I have 2 buck converters over here. These are the individual power supplies. This is the power supply for the rumble motor. The powdered food tends to get staticky and clumps, so when we run, this guy should turn on. That's the power supply for this guy. It is connected to relay 31. And then relay 32, another buck converter. The buck converter is set at 6 volts, which is the happy place for our 20 kilogram per centimeter stepper motor over here, servo motor that connects this pinion. Everything else comes over here. The code has been uploaded to Arduino. It is running on our Compass stack that is using Python and vanilla JavaScript and the C++ inside there to make this thing work. So here's our interface. We have my development computer over there connected to the mouse and the keyboard, but in the laboratory, everything will be touch screened over here. So for now, utility-wise, just to see if this thing works, I can go here to go to Utilities. And one of the things I want to try real quick is just to go ahead and see if I can do a relay test just to make sure these things are working. I'm going to press the relay test, and we should hear some clicking. Not only are we hearing clicking, we're hearing bumping over here. You can't see it right now, but these guys are sort of acting like trumpets. Each of these valves is opening and then slamming shut when these guys are shut. So as we get into our second, this is obviously relay B, we're now going through 21, 22, 23. So we're coming back around. I labeled some stuff to do some debugging. It's going to be down here. Then it's going to check the relays to the I wonder why when it checked the relay for the rumble pack, the rumble pack came on. So that definitely worked. Inside here, if I go to my log file, I can see what it has performed, and we can see what it has done history-wise. So yeah, it went through all of these individual relays and tried them off. We can go back to utilities again, and what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to dispense the food. So over here, I'm going to run dispense cycles. I'll go ahead and slide this back to just one. And if I press run test, we'll hear it first, and then I'll move the camera. So let's see if this works. So it worked fine. So if I come back over here, I'm going to press the same button, but now we're going to see this. Again, the way this works is it will activate the rumble pack. It will dispense the food by sliding the rack over like a gumball machine and then move it back. So here we go. Fantastic. And I have some really awesome red Sharpie on here to tell me where things are. So this is where it needs to go to dispense. And then this is where it needs to go back to its home position. Looks like I have blood everywhere. It's just a red Sharpie. And again, if we can make this even more awesome, I can get back over here and we can run maybe 3 tests, just do 3 cycles here. So now I've just had to set 3 cycles. The idea is that each of these things will be programmable. If we have, let's say, for instance, Aquarium 1 has lots of fish in it, and we need 3 times the food, then it will, when it is working on Aquarium number 1, it will dispense 3 times, sort of like 3 orders of gumballs. Let me press this button and see what happens. Fantastic. I think that seemed to have worked. I'll go back here to set this back to 0 again, and then go back here to the log, and yeah, this is what happened. The really cool thing, it's not down here is this is dispense 3. There it is, dispensing number 3. Rumble on, rumble off, dispense complete. Fantastic. If I go back to utilities again, what I can do is I can test one of the feed cycles. So over here, runs 1 full cycle on tank 1. So it's hard to figure out video-wise that it's actually number 1 here. I guess I could touch the wires and get a 12-volt shock. You can't really tell that this thing will be clicking. But yeah, it's going to go through all of the system of, let's see what happens. I don't have any of the water connected and the pumps on, but the way this will work is it'll go through its shenanigans, and then we'll go back and look at the log file and see what it did. So I'm going to press this run test for the, down here, feed cycle test. I'm going to give this guy a shot and see what happens. I'm going to press this run test. So I heard some things turn on. Fantastic. And we're going to get a dispense, and we did. And there's some other things happening. There's a couple more clicks. And then we're finished. So it didn't sound like much happened. So what we need to do is we need to go over here to the log file and see what it did to test this fed. In fact, it's still working. And now it's, I just heard a blink. I just heard the valve go off again, and it's complete. So here's what it did. Here's the list. Okay, so we're going to feed tank 1 allotment of food, and that's what it's doing. It's going to open valve 1, which it did. It's going to turn on the pump, and we're calling this is pump B, or the sink, the water sink. It's going to make sure that we pull the water out of our mixing bowl, if you will, before we add any. So it's going to turn on the sink start. It turns out that these pumps here they can run dry, so it won't hurt them. In fact, it will pump air through them so we can clean them out. So what's going to happen is we're going to Open the valve, make sure that we have a place for this thing to go. We're going to start the pump through motor. I'll just call it the sink motor. We're going to turn on the water motor, the source motor. We're going to allow it to agitate for a little bit, meaning that it's going to get flow. And then we're going to turn the rumble pack on. That's part of the feed. We're going to turn the servo power on, which is turning on the power to the rack and pinion. We're going to do our dispense, and then we're going to wait for things to settle down, and then we're going to turn that off. And then over here, we're going to go through source stop. So source stop means that is the incoming water is going to stop. And now that we've starved the system of water, we're going to force air through all the tubes. We're going to dry flush it to sort of prevent any type of biofilm growth on wet tubes. And then we're going to close the sink, which is lovely. That is motor number 2. We'll close the valve, which is what we heard over there. And we have set valve off. And we're going to have a cool down to make sure everything is working well. And then we're going to say that we'll do some diagnostics and say the feed is complete. So this will be much more fun to see and verify that it's working when I fill my Home Depot bucket with 5 gallons of water and actuate these supply valves, which is actually tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get something to see. So dashboard wise, the only other thing that is fun to look at, because it took a while, and why not take a while? If I go here to the about, we happen to get a little tiny splash screen. That's a video. Fun to program these things. Dr. Tracy Bell's lab, it is her Zebrafish. My lab is the Sensors and Advanced Instrumentation Laboratory, the SAIL lab. And again, we're putting together the Zebrafish Automated Feeder plus is what this guy is called. The plus part is that after we get the feeding taken care of, then we're going to plus it with additional versions. We have enough room on the Arduino Mega for all kinds of inputs. I have the second Arduino Mega in this box ready to go, that we can start measuring real-time water qualities such as pH and dissolved oxygen, turbidity, ammonia concentration. Gosh, go crazy. Fantastic. All right, just an update. Thanks for watching. See ya.